Hello everyone, welcome to Grammar and Writing, Lesson 100. Let's start with our vocabulary. Our first prefix focus is auto. Auto, again, Greek, and the definition is self. So when you see that word auto, think that it's something to do with being self-driven, self-operated, whatever it might be. Autobiography. This is the story of one's life written by oneself. So it's when someone writes their own book about their life. For example, Christie's autobiography included funny anecdotes from her childhood. An anecdote is like a little story. Autograph. This is a person's own signature. Graph talking about writing, auto, self-writing, so your own signature. Sometimes authors inscribe the inside cover of their books with an autograph. To inscribe is to write in something. Automatic. This is something that is self-starting, automatic. The automatic watering system was set to turn on at 5 a.m. Automobile. A self-moving vehicle. Now you're probably thinking, Miss Ashley, I know that a car is an automobile. It doesn't move by itself, you drive it. Yes, you're right, you do drive it. However, nothing is pushing it. It has an engine that causes it to move. So it moves on its own without somebody else exerting force on it. But yes, you do have to be in control of it. You do have to drive it. Although there are some very, very high-tech vehicles that people are trying to make where you don't even have to drive it. They just kind of drive it themselves. So that's interesting, right? For example, my great-grandmother remembers when the automobile replaced the horse and carriage as a mode of transportation. Mode just meaning a method, so a way of transportation. Okay, number 1. The basketball fan waited after the game to get his favorite player's what? Number 2. The blank covers distances without human or animal muscle power. Number 3. I plan to write in blank so that others can learn from all my mistakes. Number 4. Excuse me. In blank transmission shifts gears without the movement of a clutch. All right. The first one will be autograph, so it's the signature of his favorite player. The automobile covers distances without human or animal muscle power. I plan to write an autobiography so that others can learn from all my mistakes. An automatic transmission shifts gears without the movement of a clutch. Okay, revising persuasive writing. So we've learned about what persuasive writing is. You guys have practiced writing persuasively a little bit. What you need to be prepared for is that coming up right after Semana Santa, you're going to be writing persuasively. So when that comes, you're going to obviously write your paper, but then when you finish writing your paper, you need to revise it. You need to check over it. So let's talk about what that means, what that looks like. When you review your persuasive writing, think about how convincing your arguments sound. If you were on the opposite side, would you listen to what the person is saying? Look for ways to strengthen your arguments by using this checklist. Make sure that your arguments are logical and well supported. So they need to have sentido. They need to have apoyo in your writing and in your examples. If your examples are weak, then they won't be convincing. Avoid words with vague meanings, such as good, bad, better, or worse. Instead, use words with specific meanings. Show why something is good without saying that it's good. We talked about that, showing rather than telling. So be very specific. Watch out for loaded language with its strong emotional associations. For example, unhealthy is a more neutral word than disgusting, because sometimes you can turn people off because they think that you're being too dramatic or over the top or emotional. So, or maybe it will cause them to become emotional and so they won't agree with you. Use gentle words, specific words, but gentle words, and be sure not to offend. Explain each argument in a separate paragraph and make sure all the sentences in the paragraph support that argument. So for each point that you have arguing for your position, make sure you have that in a separate paragraph and make sure all of the sentences in the paragraph support that particular reason, that particular argument. If they don't, then they need to go either out of your paper or in a different paragraph where they belong. Or maybe you need to separate it into 2 paragraphs. So your homework for today is to complete Revising Persuasive Writing, page 35. So the directions say to imagine that you have drafted the following part of a persuasive letter to a newspaper editor. You are now revising it, so you're checking it over. Show the changes that you would make. That's all that you have to do, guys. Let me know if you have any questions about that. You need to use your proofreader's marks if you need to add things. If you want to rewrite it on a separate piece of paper to show me even better how you are going to change it, then by all means do so, but I should see plenty of changes. I should be able to tell that you read through it and that you really thought about it. All right, that's it for today. Have a great day and a great weekend, guys. Love you very much. See you in our next lesson. Bye.